Seuss really brings in the economics of focusing on difference, and with certainly one of the differences that we see so much today is the whole economy of boys wear blue, they have the masculine kind of military kinds of colors, and girls wearing pink and more delicate feminine kinds of colors. And there's a whole economy going to McDonald's or some of the fast foods place and getting the games and the little toys they give. They have some that are planned for children who identify as female and some for children who identify as male, and there's just a whole economy built up around focusing on difference. And books like the Sneetches and the lesson like the Sneetches at Teach Intolerance really highlights, don't focus on these differences, feel empathy for each other. It's okay to be interested in anything that you, and to be able to realize your full potential, and you don't have to hide any of it.
And it seems like the Sneetches really points it out, and this struck me when I read it earlier before we spoke, was how much it costs when you try to keep up with each other. Like, well, if you're going to have that blue blah blah blah, that blue toy from, then I'm going to get it, and and then, well, no, then I need to one up you, and the cost of that as well.
It just feeds into a whole economy of privilege, of keeping up, and of difference. So Dr. Seuss is really, the Dr. Seuss stories are wonderful, and the Sneetches is one of my favorites.
For good reason. Well, you were talking a little bit about the Big Book of Families, which is not a book we've received, but I am loving the idea of it, and I'm not familiar with it. So you were mentioning economy around that, too, and just how it really is representative of so many different kinds of families.
Mary Hoffman is a wonderful author, and she wrote The Amazing Grace, and she's done a lot of work around gender expansiveness, where children can do whatever they want to, and they shouldn't be limited by their gender. And this book, though, really stresses difference through families, and it points out things like, in the economy, some families can't get jobs, some families live in big houses, and some families live in small houses, and some families don't have anywhere to live. This is the only book where I've ever seen issues like homelessness dealt with right along with all of the other aspects of being a family. Some small families live in big houses, and some big families live in tiny apartments, and some people can't find anywhere to live. And it talks about clothes. Some children get new clothes, others have hand-me-downs, others get their clothes from thrift shops, and some families dress up for special occasions. So all kinds of differences. And I know when I was a youngster, I'm one of 6 children, and we didn't get to go on a vacation. But as an educator, I started each year out with, where did your family go over the summer? What did you get to do? Tell about your trips. And so many families don't get to go anywhere. And in this book, Mary Hoffman talks about families who stay home and have family vacations at home. I had a friend who is a tailor, and she told me that her children had been to one movie during the summer, and she was hoping that she would have time to take them to one more movie. So getting literature is very, very powerful. And if educators are aware of the messages that are shared through the literature, and then developing talks about this. This is the page about holidays and vacations. Not all families can afford a vacation, but most people get some time off from work. Even a weekend at home can be a little vacation. So books like this, books like the Sneetches, and another one is the book Wonder, about craniofacial differences.
Hmm.
And just a little boy named August gets to start school in 5th grade, and it's the first time he's ever been to school, and he almost has no facial features. For a long time he had to wear a bubble over his head. But then the school taking the responsibility of helping all students make sure that August fits in, and then August teaching the students about empathy is a powerful experience.
Well, what I love about all of these books is that they are empathy as a theme through all of them, and I know that's something that comes up in my interviews around diverse sexuality and gender, and indeed in most of my conversations, is how important empathy is, and books are such a wonderful way to build empathy. So clearly you're seeing that in your work as well, and as in how powerful these books have been in your work as an education consultant. Yeah.
Why wouldn't we educators help remove all impediments to prosperity for all families, for all children, and being able to see, being able to open our hearts and our minds and commit to action that helps all thrive is a powerful opportunity that educators have.
Absolutely. Tell me one more time the quote about privilege.
Privilege is being able to choose what we see.
Choose what we see, and where...
And to choose what we do not see. I think I like that even more. Privilege is being able to choose what we do not see.
And is that something that you've come up with, or is that a quote inspired by someone else?
It's Dorothee, Soelle, Dorothee Soelle.
Okay.
That's a quote. I'll get it to you. And then
Wonderful.
You can
Yeah.
look that up.
Yeah. I love that quote.
And the one of Adrienne Rich about...
She has so many good ones.
about the disequilibrium that children feel when the teacher talks and they don't hear themselves or see themselves reflected in the resources or hear their experience mentioned. Kind of this disconnectedness. So
Powerful.
educators have a rich opportunity to empower students and to build a community where everyone is included, everyone gets a voice, and everyone sees their experience reflected. And that's very challenging, but isn't it rich?
Yes, it is. Thank you so much, Rhonda.
Thank you. It's been delightful.
Yes.
We'll have to come back.
We will. We're having a wonderful time.